Viljapuuaia läbimõeldult rajades võib tulemuseks olla hoopis püsivalt kaunis iluaed. Adam Frost oli sellise just 2013. aasta Chelsea näituseks kujundanud. Intervjuu tegi Maryland Mental.
Adam, please tell us the story of your beautiful garden.
The garden's inspired for a family. It's designed for a family. They've got children that are probably 12, 13. They want their kids to understand not only where their food comes from, but they want them to understand with nature. So the garden's driven by two words really, harvest and habitat. Somewhere we can harvest and habitat, and somewhere nature can harvest and habitat. So that's what drives the garden in a sense.
There are very interesting combinations of fruit trees and perennials. What exactly do you have here?
The idea was that it's all about interplanting. So I suppose you could describe it as an ornamental kitchen garden. So all the trees and all the shrubs are all edible or usable in the kitchen. So we've got apple trees that do the upper story, and underneath that are some pear trees. And then we've got things like quince, raspberries, black currants, gooseberries, and medlar, and then they hold the structure. Then after that, the ornamental plants, so things like geraniums, irises, euphorbias, they create the colour and the interest. And then we've got other things like the vegetables are then interplanted in pockets around the garden, which there's a whole mix of vegetables in there.
What about the colour scheme? You've kept it rather blue and a little bit yellow.
Yeah, the reason is for that is because I'm planting with vegetables and fruit and whatever. In vegetables and fruit, there's a lot of textures. So I felt that with the ornamentals, I needed to keep the actual scheme quite simple to be able to work all the other bits and pieces in.
And you just repeat the same perennials, right?
It changes, but with this particular garden, the euphorbia drifts through. It's got that lovely limey colour, so that works really well with blue. But also at the other end of the garden, that limey colour then works with a sort of a deep purple, which then works with an orange. So you can use 2 or 3 plants just to carry on the journey, as to say.
Which hard landscaping materials are here?
All York stone, so all sandstone. All the same stone, it's just treated in different ways. So everything you walk on is, it's called shot sawn, which is actually one of our oldest ways of cutting stone. After that, everything you sit on top of the walls is all diamond sawn, same stone. And the walls, all the dry stone walls are created from really the offcuts from the paving process. So they make them into blocks, so you can create sort of right uniform dry stone walls.
How exactly did you create the paving here? Is it one piece or is it separate?
No, they're all separate pieces.
And there's even a little bit of sand in here.
It's not sand. No, it's self-binding gravel. It put it in, so it's literally starts with the gravel and goes down to a dust in a way, so you can put it in, water it, and then firm it in, and it works a nice surface.
Where would you put your garden in real life? Is it a city garden, country garden?
Probably a suburban garden, I would say, so somewhere in between. But the idea could work in a country garden or could work in an urban garden. You know, the idea of interplanting and working your edibles with your ornamentals could work anywhere.